A very good evening and a warm welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight on the 6th day of February 2026. I'm Lauryn Kazimoto together with my colleague Mohammed Mugalu for the sign language interpretation. We start off with our first story this evening. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has congratulated the people of Kampala and Uganda at large for the unwavering support given to Fronasa NRA fighters during the armed struggles that ushered into power the current NRM government. Museveni made these remarks at Kampala National Teachers College playgrounds during the 45th Tarehe-Sita celebrations, attributing the sacrifices and gains made through liberation struggles. We have more.
Thousands of people gathered at Kampala NTC grounds to celebrate the 45th Tarehe-Sita, a ceremony graced by the President, His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The President first commissioned the amendment in Kampala municipality grounds in honor of Fronasa fighters who were executed by former President Idi Amin Dada following unsuccessful attack by Fronasa fighters on Simba Barracks in 1970s. The movement recognizes gains and role played by historical Fronasa NRA members in the armed struggle that led to the liberation of Uganda. Later, the President was ushered into the venue in the company of the First Lady, Mama Janet Kataha Museveni. The armed forces showcased the mighty military parade performances by all security forces.
Thank the people of Kigezi for the enthusiasm they showed us throughout this period spanning back November. Abanyakigezi mwebale munonga.
The people of Uganda have indeed vindicated themselves very well. Well done to all Ugandans and Happy New Year to all of you. Your Excellency, on my own behalf and on behalf of the officers and men of the UPDF and the entire security system in Uganda, we offer our profound congratulations to you upon your well-deserved election victory.
During his speech, President Museveni attributed the sacrifices made by the earlier Fronasa fighters during the liberation struggles in 1970s.
Because today we are celebrating Tarehe-Sita, but also celebrating the victory we had recently in the elections. We are celebrating both. Now, I started coming to Kampala in 1964 when we came to play cricket with the Butobere. Then I came to Kampala in the resistance against Idi Amin when I came to see Karambuzi, the Tuareg.
Museveni saluted the security forces for the peace enjoyed during the recent general elections, with the NRM winning over the landslide margin.
I want to salute the UPDF and the other security forces for the robust security they gave during the recent elections. They did a very good job.
The Chief of Defense Forces CDF General Hoskai Nerugaba was decorated with Kabalega Star Medal for his dignified services in the army.
The second highest military decoration is awarded for gallantry to to Resistance Officer 08643 General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the UPDF Chief of Defense Forces.
Other decorated senior officers with Renzo Star medals include Lieutenant General Kanja Muhanga, Lieutenant General Charles Okidi, and Major General James Kinarwa. Tarehe-Sita is the day the UPDF commemorates its transition from Fronasa NRA to UPDF, honoring the sacrifices of its fighters to Uganda's development. Fronasa fighters were the earliest recruits mobilized by Museveni in 1970s to fight Amin's regime. In attendance were top government and military officials, among others. Haruna Mtesasira, reporting for UBC News in Kabale District.
The National Peasants Party President Robert Kasibante has filed an application before the Supreme Court seeking permission to withdraw the 2026 presidential election petition he launched against NRM's General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the Electoral Commission and the Attorney General. Kasibante cites financial constraints as the main reason for the withdrawal, saying the petition has become too costly to prosecute. He further says that although he had been promised financial support and evidence by other political parties, the commitments failed to materialize. We have more.
The Supreme Court justices had scheduled to deliver a ruling on two applications filed by Robert Kasibante, one seeking access to data from the biometric voter verification kits held by the Electoral Commission and seeking evidence from President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Court also expected to rule on Kasibante's request to cross-examine the Electoral Commission chairperson and the Deputy Attorney General, Jackson Kafuzi. However, despite all parties appearing in court, the respondents were taken by surprise when Kasibante, through his legal team, revealed that he had already filed an application seeking to withdraw the petition.
So we are saying we wrote letters, which we are going to share with you, to all political parties to have evidence, to support us with evidence in that area. But most of them were adamant, but they did not all support us. And we said no. And we saw where we are going in needs money, which we didn't have.
Kasibante explained that prosecuting the petition will require him more than $5 million and navigating complex legal procedures, which he said he could no longer sustain.
Now, this case, to petition a case in a Supreme Court, you need like $3 billion. I sold all what I had to have this case filed here. Now, adding more $4 billion, that means I'm going to be announced a bankrupt.
He therefore asked the Supreme Court to grant him permission to withdraw the petition. Following the development, proceedings could not continue. The justice held a 15-minute cross-door meeting with all parties, after which the Attorney General Chiriwa Chiwanuka addressed the media.
Everything that is done here in election petition is done very fast. So once the court tells you, the court requires us to file our responses, and we're going to file responses immediately. As you may realize, we filed opposing the application, we filed opposing the petition. So from the Attorney General's part, we don't intend to oppose.
Oh, wow, okay.
The Attorney General expressed disappointment, citing that time and resources already expended by the respondents.
Of course, we put in a lot of time and work. We were ready for the hearing. If you were here the last time, we did make our arguments on the application. We filed voluminous responses to the application. So yes, we obviously will be affected.
The Electoral Commission's lead lawyer, Mwesigwa Lukutana, said he was not surprised by the move, arguing that the petition lacked merit from the outset.
We're not happy because we put in a lot of time. Then as lawyers, we had expected a precedent because we had guided the court in our submissions on how to treat this application. And if this Supreme Court pronounced itself on the matter.
Other political actors approached him and promised to back him up. Unfortunately, he was left hanging in balance. He was smart enough. And he said, no, I have to do what? Maybe I have to withdraw. Because you guys, you are going to incur costs, of which costs I don't know who would have bailed you out.
Kasibante, however, vowed to chant a new source of action following the withdrawal of the petition.
Phase 1 ewedde tugenda mu phase 2 enendemeredde betwali tusuubira nti bagenda kunnyambako kakati ngenda ku kyakubiri kyeseetaaga bannayuganda kunnyambako okuggyako abo abakkiriza mu byenkola ki byenzikiririzaamu. Mwami Kyagulanyi gobeera eyo nangenda kubeera eno.
If formal responses are filed, the Supreme Court justices are expected to resume hearing next week to give further directions. In his main petition, Robert Kazimoto had asked the Supreme Court justices to nullify President Museveni's election, citing alleged election irregularities, voter bribery, security agency involvement, and claims that voting took place in more than 15,000 non-gazetted polling stations. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Kasese High Court has remanded 5 more suspects to Maluku Government Prison on charges of alleged terrorism financing, aggravated robbery, murder and treason. The crimes were committed on November 1st, 2025, when the suspects, together with others at large, attacked a military barracks and police installations in the Rwenzori region.
Court presided over by Kasese Grade 1 Magistrate Ngamije Mbale Faizo has remanded 5 suspects identified as Daniel Kabende, 26, Elisha Mobonga, 28, Sam Kahindo Gakani, 23, Edward Isemukonzo, 24, and Wambale Amon, 30, to Maluku government prisons in Bale district. The suspects, together with 97 others currently on remand, were charged with crimes of alleged terrorism financing, aggravated robbery, murder and treason.
Other accused persons from number 1, Bira Josephine, up to 97 have not been produced in court today, but there was an arrangement.
Prosecution told court that on November 1st, 2025, the suspects used guns, machetes, arrows to attack various military barracks, police installations and education institutions in the districts of Kasese, Bundibujo, Kabalore and Bunyangabu, leading to the death of a police officer, soldiers and civilians.
The transfer is not in good faith. It is a witch hunt.
Counsel Barnabas Tinkasimire, on behalf of Victoria Advocates, asked the court to expedite investigations about the suspects, since some are said to be innocent and need fair treatment and justice. He said some suspects were sickly and needed special treatment, and requested court to at least allow suspects to appear via audio-visual link or Zoom to ascertain their physical health conditions.
We are talking about Mubuya Stephen, who is accused number 89. Being frail, being sick, he should be able to see that actually he's sick. He's not well. When the state says that prison authorities have expert doctors, we should be able to see no sick inmate appearing on Zoom.
The 5 will be brought back to court on February 29th, 2026 for mention. Some of the suspects' relatives expressed regret over long confinement of suspects and denial to meet their children.
District security officials in Kampala have issued a stern warning to street vendors, hawkers and border riders operating without gazetted stages to vacate the streets of the city before Monday next week. The directive follows an earlier order by the Minister for Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, aimed at decongesting the city and improving public safety.
According to the Resident City Commissioner, Kampala District, Hajuma Lule, and the Deputy RCC Kampala Central, Nsobuga Shafik Ali, the growing number of street vendors and ungazetted border stages has significantly contributed to rising street crime and traffic congestion.
We want all the streets of Kampala to be free of roadside traders. Those who have moved out of the markets, please go back to the markets. If you know you've moved out of the shops, please get back the things and take them back to the shop.
Nja kuwagira etteeka lya gavumenti ero tugatambulira wamu nalyo naye nsaba mbagirawo KCCA esale amagezi ku bantu baffe egeno bateeka mu budde okubeera nti nabo tutambula nabo tubaagala nnyo ku lwa famiri zaabwe ze baliisa n'ebirala.
They say the situation has led to the narrowing of roads, making it difficult for motorists and pedestrians to move freely, while also creating opportunities for criminal activities.
Our motorized roads, let them please leave all the wide roads wide as they are, leave them so that the traffic can flow very, very well. So starting next week, I'm committing myself. I'll lead all the teams of security. They will be on ground for this operation to keep Kampala clean. Kampala streets must be as clean as possible, free from all the babtembei, free from all the unlawful traders. Please put yourselves in order so that we can have a clean Kampala.
Ekinyumo kibadde kingi nnyo ku batembeeyi kusayidi y'abatembeeyi okuba nti balina obulabe bwe batuusizza ku bannayuganda. Yagalagaana nze nabagamba njogera ebyoma n'ebikaawa. Enguudo zibadde zifunze. Enguudo ezifunda passage y'abantu n'emmoloka n'ebirala tuyitira. Ensonga endala abasala ensawo badde bakomyewo e Kampala baali bakola ki?
The officials revealed that enforcement of the eviction order will begin on Monday, February 9th, 2026, targeting street vendors and border riders operating illegally within Kampala's central business areas.
If those people who are selling items outside are not from the shops, we are coming, we shall remove them. Starting next week, Monday, we shall be on the roads. We want all the roads clear. Where is the pedestrian street, let it be pedestrians.
Kwatagana ne KCCA okubeera nti sanity eddawo oba abantu bano bakwatibwa bulungi baleme kukwata enforcement eyo. So njagala security teams zaffe zegatteko office yange egatte ne enforcement abantu baffe tubeere nga tubasobola okubasengula mu mbeera esinga okuba nti nnungi.
The RCCs explained that congestion caused by illegal vendors and border stages has made crime prevention difficult, with criminals taking advantage of crowded streets.
Friends, the borders, please also behave. Where there are no stages, please remove your border. Go to the gazetted border stages. This one I'm sounding the last warning to all my friends, the border. Please, the leadership of the borders in all the 5 divisions, please get back the border, take it to your stage. If you don't have a stage, we are going to deal with you.
They further thanked President Yoweri Museveni for what they described as peaceful presidential election victory, noting that Kampala experienced a calm electoral process.
I'm glad that His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the General, had a landslide victory. That is very, very comforting to all Ugandans and us in Kampala who are taking care of the capital city. We are indeed grateful to whoever participated in this election.
One comes to the President, the Republic of Uganda, yayitamu mukalulu bulungi nnyo. Ate n'ayitamu n'abantu nga bamukokolozeki bamulonze amikabule nga twali ki tabulonna.
Security officials also applauded the government for development programs promised to Kampala residents, including the Parish Development Model PDM and other initiatives. They say they have been well received by city dwellers.
Because wherever the president visited, actually the president, we can say that he was even ahead. He was ahead of the elections. You remember that before he started the campaigns, he had toured the country. He toured Kampala, all the 5 divisions, and we hosted him. Whatever he pledged, he fulfilled.
Yokubeera nti mukama waffe president w'eggwanga programs yaleeta PDM zakoze ensonga y'amaanyi nnyo bannayuganda abawejjerese president baakulonze.
Jamila Sekaja compiled for you this report.
The 32-kilometer-long Chikorongo-Mpondwe-Lubiriha cross-border road linking Uganda to the DRC is steadily progressing. The road was commissioned for reconstruction in 2024 by His Excellency the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in Kasese. We have a detailed story.
The 32-kilometer stretch from Chikorongo Equator to the border town of Lubiriha in Kasese district, connecting to Kasindi town in the DRC, had remained undone during the recent rehabilitation of the Kasese-Mbalala highway. The road is a key route in the trans-African business and security sector, and its sorry state has been a debate in the local politics of Kasese. During his visit to Kasese in November 2024, President Museveni launched its rehabilitation as part of the interstate Mpondwe-Kasindi-Beni cross-border road construction project in the DR Congo. The contract to construct this road is being undertaken by DOT Technical Services Limited. Ministry of Works and Transport resident project engineer said the contractor is expected to complete the roadworks within 24 months from the time of start of construction mid last year.
Around November 2024, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, did a groundbreaking to show that this road was going to be rehabilitated. And indeed, on 1st June 2025, the contractor was issued with a commencement order to begin works on this road. We hope that this project, given its duration of 2 years, should be able to be completed by 31st of May 2027.
The rehabilitation of this road to international standards is again to protect, as evidenced by the number of heavy commercial vehicles plying the road.
This road is actually very important for this country. One, it links the two countries. So it facilitates movement of goods and people between two countries. Now, in that movement, there is trade between the two countries. So the government is able to benefit by trading with the DRC.
A gold consignment truck driver from the DRC lauded President Museveni for supporting the construction of this Kasindi to Beni Road.
Hii barabara kutoka Mbondwe mpaka hapa Kikorongo ilikuwa vibaya, tulikuwa natumikisha kama saa 2 wala 3. Unafika Kikorongo mpira imekatika, sijue gari imekatika mara 2, ila saa hii tuko natembea kwa usalama. Kama tulikuwa natumia saa 2, tunaanza tumia saa 1:30. Barabara imekuwa vizuri. Tunashukuru government ya Uganda kutengenezea barabara hapa, tuko salama kabisa.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we'll return with more stories after these messages.
So, Muchala.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. Huh? For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later. Huh?
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
So, Muchala,
Yes, Daddy.
you know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
I'd like to thank all our clients, our valued taxpayers, the people that we serve as we collect revenue for building our nation. I thank you very much for the questions you have sent through this program of Buza Commissioner. On behalf of URA, I would like to pledge that we are committed and we will continue to answer all the questions that you ask through this platform. The whole purpose for this program is to ensure that your pain points, your questions are efficiently responded to. So I would like to encourage all our taxpayers who have questions to ask to please utilize this program that we are running on UBC, that will be receiving your questions through the numbers that you've been given, and URA will be available to answer these questions every Monday and every Wednesday during the 8 o'clock news bulletin. And then on Sunday, after the news, we'll have a full response to all the questions that will have come in during the week. I thank UBC for supporting us in reaching our taxpayers, and I thank our taxpayers for responding positively to this program. Thank you very much.
Buza Commissioner.
Welcome back from that break. In more stories in UBC News tonight, the family of the late Cecilia Atima-Gwal has visited the construction site of the Dolo Heritage Center in Kangai sub-county, one of Uganda's most significant historical sites linked to resistance against colonial rule. The multi-billion shilling project, which Cecilia Gwal passionately championed during her lifetime, is steadily taking shape and is expected to transform Dokolo district into a major cultural and tourism hub. Take a look.
The Kabaka of Uganda and the Mukama of Bunyoro were actually betrayed by their own people, but they were defended by the Langi here in Dokolo. This is the center of Uganda national unity. I want you to go back and translate that into a national program. We must have a cultural tourist center in Dokolo, in Kangai.
A long-held dream is gradually becoming a reality at a site widely regarded as the cradle of Uganda's national struggle. This is the very ground where Mukama Kabalega of Bunyoro and Kabaka Mwanga of Buganda sought refuge while resisting British colonial rule, an act that symbolized unity among Uganda's kingdoms long before independence. On this historic land now stands the Dolo Heritage Center, a project passionately advocated for by the late Cecilia Atima-Gwal. Her family, led by her husband Lamek Ogwal and daughter Dr. Rosemary Alwacho Ogwal, toured the site to assess progress on a project that held deep personal and national significance.
Yeah, at that time there were no politicians, but it's amazing to hear that Mwanga and Kabarega were the political rulers.
Cecilia Atima-Gwal strived so hard to make sure that we had this heritage center where people could celebrate the spirit of all these cultures coming together and what makes Uganda a particularly strong nation. We celebrate that. Not only her vision, but also the current government that have funded this significant project.
Construction of the first phase, estimated at 15 billion shillings, is now at 56% completion as of February. Once completed, the second phase will introduce additional facilities aimed at transforming the area into a state-of-art tourism destination. For Cecilia Ogwal's family, the project presents more than infrastructure, it is a legacy.
So that we may have a district hospital, we may have this particular heritage site, and when we have all these facilities in place, there's nothing that would be more important towards oversight than having Dolo municipality. Dolo municipality is also one of the requests that the late Honorable Atat Cecilia Ogwal made to her brother, the president, and to everybody else, so that we can oversee all this public investment that has been put here.
Local leaders say the Heritage Center is among the biggest development projects ever undertaken in Dokolo district.
And it will boost the local revenue, Kangai Town Council and Dokolo as well.
Residents say the development is long overdue.
Why these people stayed for 5 years here, and even the British could not get them. It was a thicket, which moving for a kilometer would take you 2 weeks.
In 2021, during the Women's Day celebration in Dokolo, Cecilia Ogwal publicly appealed to the government to develop the site, describing it as the cradle of Uganda's national unity. Shortly after her passing, the project was launched, with the national leaders acknowledging her relentless advocacy. Beyond the Heritage Center, her family continues to champion causes she cared deeply about, including youth sports development and affordable housing for vulnerable elderly people. Ediulwa, UBC News.
And with that, UBC News Tonight has come to an end. Thank you so much for your company. On behalf of the team working tirelessly behind the scenes, we do wish you a good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Tarehe-Sita is celebrated in Uganda to commemorate the start of the National Resistance Army's liberation struggle on 6th February 1981, an attack on Kabamba